up this week so that we could listen to our members. And we got a very short presentation for you. It should take about 10 minutes, although we've noticed that we sometimes do this presentation, people have questions and it goes a little bit longer. But the real purpose here is to hear from you and hear about your issues, your concerns, and your thoughts, and take them back as we go forward with the decision-making process. Golden Valley 2 years ago set out on putting in a new set of metering systems for our 46,000 and some electric meters. We picked in a meter that was made by Aclara. Aclara used to be a GE company, but it was bought up by Aclara, and they're called an AMI meter, part of an automated meter infrastructure system. It's kind of the whole system. The project here was shepherded by Keith Palkachoff right here. Dan Bishop worked with him as well. A lot of work has gone into it, considering what type of meter we should do. And as we know, we've heard from a number of members as we've gone about putting in these 46,000 meters that there's some issues, and people are concerned about new meters and what they might do. And so we're here to hear from you tonight and see what you think as we decide what to do. Initially, what we did is we told members that you could defer the decision on taking a new meter. We knew there'd be some folks that were not terribly excited about getting this new meter. We want to be respectful of that. I want to take ownership of the issue that we call it deferred. Some people heard opt out. We said what we're going to do is we're going to go to folks. If anyone says I don't want that meter, rather than fight with them, we're going to say okay, we'll come back to you. We're going to defer. Some people heard opt out, and I get that, and I think we maybe failed to make that very clear that we're going to go for and make a decision. So part of the decision-making process, which will be done by your board of directors, that you get to elect each year. We've got 7 different districts, and you get to vote for a board member in your district. And we actually have 2 board members here tonight. Tom DeLong, District 1, I would say, District 2, all right, and Gary Newman, District 3.
4. Twice what Tom is.
All right. So anyway, but this will come back and we're going to consider all the information we get from everybody. So what I wanted to tell you, and Kareem, if you want to go to the first slide, these are the old meters. About the 46,000 before we started, about a third of them look like this. Very digital looking, has a little computer inside, and it sends out a signal fairly continuously. And what would happen is our meter techs would drive down the streets and would collect the signals from these meters that they're transmitting and collect them into computers that were in the trucks. This is another little bit older meter. Some might call this an analog meter, it's more mechanical, but it had a computer put into it. It's on the top here. I'll pass this around so you can look at it if you're interested. And it also had a little antenna in this meter. And it too would send out a signal and would be collected by the meter tech. This meter, part of the metering infrastructure system that we put in, transmits its signal and information all the way back to our corporate headquarters on Illinois Street here. We don't have to send out meter techs to go read the meters. We can turn these meters on and off from the corporate headquarters. We can get information on an ongoing basis every 15 minutes. So if you want to know how much electricity you used in the past week, so you monitor that, reduce your consumption or whatever, you'll have access to that type of information from this new meter. So that's the kind of the idea behind it. This is the newest generation of meters, so to speak. It's the newest technology. We're just moving up to the better technology. But there's some better things about this meter. One is it does tell us if the power's gone out. So 3 weeks ago, we had a notice in our dispatch center that 3 meters were out. It was 10 o'clock in the morning. And what happened then is they called out some linemen. They said, you need to go over here and see what's going on. They found a tree in the line. They got the tree out of the line, restored the power, and when folks came home from work, their power was back on. Before these meters have been put in, they would have had to come home from work, call us and say, I don't have power. And we would have then called the lineman from home, brought him out 2 or 3 hours later, 8, 9 o'clock at night, the power would be back on. So we are able to better control outages, respond to folks who are out of power, and give you better service.
Did not the turtle
We're
meter
also
do the
going to
same
be able
thing?
to,
Did not the
Mr.
turtle
Ripple,
meter?
would you
do the
please
same
not
thing?
interrupt at this point?
Well,
Mr. Ripple has been to every meeting. This is the fourth one.
Absolutely.
He's interrupted us at every one, and I would just ask that you be polite. And you
Because this gentleman has
make
been
comments
lying to our
anytime.
community and what's happening.
So anyway, this is the meter that we put in. This meter doesn't emit a signal continuously. It emits a signal about once every 15 minutes. In an hour, it emits signals for 36 seconds, so about 9 seconds every 15 minutes. That information gets its way back to our corporate headquarters, where we'll be able to also give that information back to you. So anyway, it rates less radio frequency than the old meters. And these meters rated between 4 and 16 times more than this new meter. Less signal, less radio frequency.
What frequency?
So we believe in the analysis we had all done, and I understand people disagree with it sometimes, but we really felt we've got a better meter, less radio frequency, better information, better technology.
I never got to vote on it as a member.
You don't get to vote on a lot of things as a member, we understand that, but we're listening to you, and that's our purpose here tonight.
And you gonna do something about it?
Well, we're gonna listen to you.
And then,
We're gonna see.
So that's
But your
why
voice is gonna
they've
get
already
to be heard.
scheduled the meeting
Right.
to come in 2 months.
It's called a pop-up
So,
valve.
all right, so.
Just let off a little steam and then it'll go on.
All right, so anyway, that's the idea here, and so I got your complaint, you didn't get the vote on this, you thought it should have gone to a vote of the
that's why
member.
I'm a member, 3,600 a year I pay.
All right.
Does anybody
So,
vote count on anything more?
we'll take that issue, you thought this should have gone to a vote of the
Yes, sir.
members. Anything else that Illinois does that should go to a vote of the members?
How much you're making?
What's that?
Over the close to $1 million that you're making and scamming by the different companies that you've co-owned and been able to finagle people into staying into. Like when the coal plant Healy's been worked on. What lodge is the name of that lodge that you co-own that you benefited from?
I don't know.
By pushing people to go stay there.
I
These
don't know
contractors
any
that work
lodges in Healy. So, anyway.
It's on your
yeah,
IRS
go on
forms,
to
you
the
can
next-
find it on the website.
That's the information on this meeting. I wanted to keep this presentation short and then hear from you. I've already heard from Mr. Ripple, I don't need to hear from him.
But these people do because you're
So as we
lying.
took and did an analysis here of this meter and its impact, we took a look at different frequency that this meter would have, a 900 megahertz radio frequency and 1 yard away. And we've talked about this at other meetings, that you can actually go out and get a power meter to read it and see what it's doing, to see when it's on and when it's off. And you can compare the old meter. If some of you deferred, you can test your old meter and see what the radio frequency
I
is.
did find a man who will do that. Who will
Okay.
come out and measure our radioactive, whatever the waves.
Frequency, yeah.
Well-
So what we found,
Or that
and from
states.
the data and information that we have,
Yeah.
that the radio frequency from Earth, it's naturally generated, is 8 times greater than this meter. That the radio cell towers is 10 times greater. The radio frequency that emanates from our bodies themselves is 20 times greater, and you can see the rest of the information. So the information we had is, one, it's a lot less radio frequency than the meters that you've had installed since 1998.
So when are you going to use updated science?
And then-
FCC science.
Excuse me?
The whole time.
We
New
just-
studies are coming out trying this is dangerous all the time.
Okay, so we'll talk about that, and you understand it's dangerous, and you're talking about a health danger?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're using the FCC study there, but that's old data. New data is coming out all the time about the dangers of these.
Russell just shut
All
down.
right, so I hear that. Yes, sir.
Let Corey, maybe, because a lot of the stuff within the program, if you might, I just ask please to give the courtesy to let them go through it. I think all these things can be addressed, but it's kind of breaking up the cadence, so.
Okay, well, thank you, but I understand people want to be heard, and that's why we're here, so. All right, we'll keep moving, get this, try to upbeat the cadence a little bit, so Crane. All right, Now, part of our purpose of this is behind giving you as a member more power, control, and information over your account. We've created a new My Account for you as a member portal, and it's going to allow you access to view and pay your bill, to review your usage history. Currently, you can see what you've used up till yesterday. I got to make sure, Green, it's very current
Yes.
usage. You know, there's other things that can come out, and other people that have these types of systems, they'll get a message from the utility saying, this week you've used so much power, we expect your monthly bill to be X, based upon your usage. So you can control and manage your usage. We want everyone to use their power as efficiently as possible. We're very concerned and we care about the environment, and we hear from a lot of other folks about this. So this is a tool you to manage your power, and we think you'll find it effective. So that's also part of the benefit of this in the green law. But we've also heard from folks that, well, we don't want this meter, we want to keep the old meter. And we know some folks have come from other utilities. I think you said you California utility?
Southern California,
Yeah. And I was going to call you to ask which utility, because we'll call them and see how their program is.
Southern California Edison.
Southern, okay. We'll say, oh, well, if you don't want this AMI meter, we'll put the old analog meter back in that still radiates
Didn't
radio
radiate at all.
frequency.
I had no
And,
radio device in my meter.
We'll put your old meter back in. And-
Thank you.
That's all that people want.
And we said, all right, but you're gonna, if you do that,
Cost you.
when we do it, it's gonna cost, because it costs
I
utilities.
pay $10 a month to have someone come out and read me every other month.
Here.
All right,
And that was it.
so we're listening to that, and we're gonna talk about it. But we've done a very basic calculation. We think it'll cost, we've had 200 people we've had 200 people out of 46,000 that have said we don't want this meter. So that's why we use
How many people did you advertise this meeting to?
Yeah.
And how many people did you put the meter in at one time?
And we put it on
How many people
Facebook.
even know you got the meter on?
Everyone got a notice. Everyone got a card, and everyone got a phone call.
Return
Pretty funny,
receipt?
I posted
So-
it on Facebook and quite a few people didn't even receive the notice.
Channel 11 didn't even know you were here today.
So we've got 200 meters, folks. We did the analysis just to give you an idea, just a basic idea. We believe it'll cost $180,000 to $230,000 a year to maintain the old metering system. We have 2 metering systems. Just the software updates each year for this meter are $70,000. So in order to keep the meter going, and then to keep the employees' vehicle fuel to read the meters, keep them driving up and down the streets, the cost of regulation, because we have to go to the Regulatory Commission of Alaska to do this in order to allocate the cost. We think it's going to run for someone $75 to $96 a month extra. There's 200 people that don't want it. It's 100 is more, 50 is even greater. Somebody earlier today said, well, what if we convince 1,000 people to go to the old meters? So that would bring the cost down. Obviously in California, the cost was down enough that it came to $10 a month or $120.
I can convince my whole town of Manana that it's still analog.
And with a little education, we can probably convince this entire